Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hey, Ari, what's up?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing in San Francisco?
We're so good. We're feeling fancy today with this background.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I'm completely outclassed here. This is super unfair.
The call booth background is killing it. Love
The
it.
gray, industrious background versus your very, very nice podcast room. I'm a little jealous. I can't say.
SF is so back. That's what we've
SF
been
is
saying.
so back. SF is so back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited for this session. Everybody who's joining us, just as a reminder, if you want to participate in the chat in the Vercel community, you can go to our community site and make sure that you're logged in if you're unable to see this live stream. But please communicate with us there in the chat, and we'll be taking some questions at the end. So put any questions that you have about this announcement there. But without further ado, we will kick things off. So welcome again, everybody. We have a very exciting V0 product announcement today. I'm Ali. I work on partnerships for V0, and I'm joined today with Pobs and Ari, who are going to be talking us through what this exciting new product announcement is. So I will pass it to Ari if you want to kick things off.
Yeah. Hey, guys, if you haven't met me yet, I'm Ari. I'm the product manager for V0, and we actually have Pobs here with us, who's a new V0 member. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, thank you. Yes. Hi, I'm Pablo Stanley. I'm a designer at V0.
Yeah, and we actually have Pablo here to have a designer from the V0 team here because we're launching a feature that's going to be super exciting for the designers out there, and we are ready to go. So today we're going to be announcing the first version of support for design systems in V0. I know it's something that people have been asking for a really, really long time, and we've finally gotten to a place where we're excited to share this with the world. And so this is just version 1 of design system support in V0, and we're calling that version 1 styles. And so what styles will let you do is actually define design tokens in V0 that V0 is going to be able to use in generations across the board. And so what this means is that if you don't want to see them, you will never see another purple gradient in a V0 generated app.
No, I don't know.
Use your own gradient.
What if we like purple?
And the benefit, if you like purple, you'll be able to set a design system that focuses on purple, and you'll get all your generations in purple, just like you want. We're going to show you a very, very cool demo of what this exactly looks like, and there's a lot of cool features that are going to come up to follow up and make this even cooler and even more useful for you as a user. But first, we're going to show you a quick overview, and I'm going to turn it back to Ali for that.
Awesome. Pobs, do you want to share your screen and we can do a quick overview?
Okay, cool. So let me just share my screen here real quickly. I have V0 over here. So should I create a system or?
Yeah, let's create a system.
Okay, cool. So you're going to see here on the left side on your sidebar a new option that is called Design Systems. So you can go in here and you're going to see a lot of default design systems up here. Soft Pop, we have Bubblegum, Cosmic Night, and also the ones that you have created are down here, so you can come at any moment and just edit them. But yeah, actually, let's just create a new one from scratch. Yeah?
I love it.
Okay, cool. So to do that, we want to go over here, create, and then we say new design system. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. And then look at that. You get to preview every little detail from what you're going to be creating, just like all the typography, the backgrounds, the cards. Like if you have ever created something in V0, you're going to, these are the things that usually all the design blocks that you use in every generation. So it's pretty cool because now we have this control over every little aspect, every little detail of the design. So, and you get to preview it, which is amazing. And not only that, but also you get to preview it in dark mode too. So we need that. So yeah, like over here, by the way, this is just like the starting point, like very basic, like using grays, neutral colors.
But this is actually what your generations right now, if you use V0, probably look something like this, because this is like the base design system that ShadCN uses, which is actually basically no design system, right? It's just white and black. It's intended to be super simple and super minimalist, so you can customize it. And we're going to show you what it looks like to customize it now.
Yeah, exactly. So This is pretty basic, but hey, some of us, we do like purple. Okay. So let's say that actually I do want to change that primary to a purple,
Oh
like
my
a purple.
God.
So you're going to see the changes. I'm going to change it here, but you're going to see the changes over here. Okay. So let's go over here. So you see how, like, by changing here the hue, it's really easy, just like here on primary. That is a primary background of usually all the elements that are using that color. So you can just like scroll down and see where all the components that is being applied. Also, you can, I don't know, like what color do you want?
Let's do blue.
Blue. Let's do like a light blue, baby blue.
Yeah, baby blue.
Baby blue. Okay, baby blue. Let's do it a little bit darker, more saturated over here. And then just by that, look at that. It looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good to me.
The cool thing too is that there's a lot of templates. So there's a lot of pre-defined templates that are over here. You can access them and you can use them as a starting point. For example, if you are a kid from the 90s like me, well, you're going to see Doom 64. You're going to be like, yes, that's what I want. Or Bubblegum. Or I mean, like even just like from Supabase, just like to see the colors that they're using. Caffeine is pretty cool. Like so you can use one of these and use it as a starting point. Do you like any of these that we want?
I think I'm a bubblegum girl.
Bubblegum.
Yeah.
Let's do bubblegum, of course. And what should we change? Like for example, here, let me zoom in. You can see that this is like the accent color. This is the primary color. And should we change the primary color?
Let's change the accent color.
The accent color. So over here, you're going to see the accent color is here. That's the background. So that's the color that we see here. So we can just change it. What do you want? Like something.
What do you think would look good? You're the designer here.
I'm going to say that it's something in the tealish, like a kind of water foamish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
so
it.
it's still bubblegumish, but a little bit more subtle. So something around there. Now, if you wanted to, you could also change the foreground, which would be the text. So right here, take a look at this. Okay. So here, if we wanted to go wild and really bubblegum, we can just like change it if we want. Yeah, so like even that way you are being very specific about your accent background and your accent foreground colors. Now, for example, all of these are inside cards, all of these components. So you can go here in the card background, and you can change it. Let's do a little bit. I'm going to say that a little bit lighter. What do you say? Because we could go like this, where your cards like pop and they're light. And if we want to change the color of the background, we can just go over here to where is it? Oh, here, background. We can just click on this, and I mean, if really we can go pretty wild. That's here.
Pretty good.
So I'm thinking I'm kind of liking this.
I like the lavender.
Okay. So now we get to save it.
Okay.
And we get to save it. And the cool thing, and something that Ari is going to show us, is that we get to save it and we get to use it. And not just me, but also if we're in the same team. This is the power of design systems, right? That we can all use the same system, right? So we can save it, and let's save the changes, save as new system, and let's save it as a super bubblegum.
Super bubblegum. Yeah.
Super bubblegum.
I like it.
Super bubblegum, and let's save it. And now it's there. It's a super bubblegum, and I think Ari, you're going to be able to use this, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so we're going to show you exactly what it looks like to work with design systems on a team. So if you asked me to make the design system, it would look very ugly and not that aesthetic. That's why Pablo, our amazing designer, is able to build this design system. But anyone on your team can actually use it. So once Pablo has built it, you can see it's here in the design system section. And what you'll see in a second when I screen share is that I have the ability now.
Let me stop.
To go in and use that design system however I want. And so what we're going to do very quickly is share screen. And what you'll see now is in my V0, I can actually see this super bubblegum instance and see all of the like cool, this cool UI we made. And when I want to now, in any of the chats I have, I can actually use this design system. And so if I open up one of the chats that I have going. This is something I was playing with a little earlier today, which is this fun chat application I was building. So you can see here, this is a like Claude-like theme right now. It doesn't actually look very much like our existing design system that we were working on. But what I can do is actually go into design mode and start actually changing the theme. And so we were originally in this kind of Claude theme, but what I can do is change it to be our Super Bubblegum theme. And
It looks 10 times better.
Oh my God, it's pretty intense.
That application. This might be a little too intense for this. I think, Pablo, I think you'd probably agree. Even I have enough design sense to say that this is probably too aggressive for us.
Yeah. Well, it is called Super Bubblegum, so I don't know. It's true to
it is pretty super bubble, you know. But I think
I would use this.
I think Ali would use this shout out.
There you go.
But you can see we can actually go in, and so even after we've chosen a design system, we can actually go in and change the styles and override them in just for this particular generation if we want. So we're looking at this, and I'm like, okay, maybe this design system is really good in general, but like these inputs look a little odd for this particular generation, right? So I can actually go in and just for this one generation, go in and say, okay, let's maybe make the inputs, you know, like a little bit pinker, so it feels like more natural in the sidebar. You know, I'm not really loving any of these colors, but let's go with this for now. And then we can save those changes. And now we've basically saved this change just for this one particular generation we're working on. And this is actually a much better way for you to make targeted edits to your generations. Typically, if you wanted to do something like this, you'd say like, hey, V0, can you change all of our inputs to be pink instead of gray? And V0 would go and try to find inputs and like make the change here. This is a much more deterministic and much more systematized way to actually make changes to designs across your entire application. And what you can do if you want to is actually save changes from here back to your design system if you want. But right now, we'll keep this as just an override for this particular design system and go back. We can also experiment and look at what a bunch of other different design systems look like. So you can see we actually are going to preserve our override here. So because I overrode the input color, it'll actually remember that and keep it overridden while I change my design system. But this lets us very, very quickly kind of prototype and see how this generation looks like with a bunch of different design systems we're working on. And very, very quickly see which one is working. And so what we're going to do quickly is I'll actually show you a few more generations that just will basically just work. You can just have a generation, build it using whatever design system you want, and then that's something we're going to have to fix.
The live demo gods.
The live demo gods will never let you get everything perfect.
Part of the plan. It's part of the plan.
It's because you said it will just work, Ari. You just
it's because I taunted. I did taunt it. That's actually
they said, okay, bet.
And so I built this little podcast generator over the weekend, which actually does work. It lets you just create podcasts based on any topic you want using ElevenLabs voice to text models. But if I wanted to change the design for it, I can just go through and test all the different kind of design systems I have going and pick whichever one works the best. And so, you know, we probably want to go with something simpler and more straightforward for, I kind of like the Slack one.
Yeah.
Another podcast.
It looks a little B2B SaaS, but I feel like that is actually what we want here. It's got a little
podcast vibe, yes.
For the podcast bros, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, and what the final thing I'll show really quickly here is once we actually have a generation, or when we're building a new one, we can actually prompt V0 to change up the design system just via prompt. So I have this kind of sign up form, which right now is very, very straightforward, like red, white, and blue, kind of brutalist themed. Now I can go and say, hey, V0, can we change up the design system for this generation to make it pink? Let's make it, pink and blue cotton candy instead of red, white, and blue. And what V0 will do is it will think, and if the demo gods cooperate with me, it will generate some design inspiration, which will actually change the style of this generation. And then we can switch between them whenever we want.
By the way, Ari, like while this is happening, like, can you tell us about, well, maybe we're not going to be able to see it right now, but there's a new tool right there in the chat before,
yeah,
like the design one. And well, right now it's not possible because it's thinking, but we moved the design pointer there.
Yeah, so we actually got a lot of feedback from you guys that, so here we go.
Yes.
Cotton candy pink and blue color scheme instead of the red, white, and blue color scheme we had before.
That was fast. Wow.
It was pretty fast. Yeah, so you get the benefits of agent mode, which is that we're not going to update a bunch of stuff we don't need to. We know the exact place we need to go and change files, and we're able to change files really fast. And Pablo was 100% right. We actually did change how you get into design mode. We got a lot of feedback from you guys that it was hard to figure out exactly where and how to do this. So we basically brought design mode to the highest visibility place we could, which is in the prompt form, which is whenever you're working on thinking about exactly what you want to build, you can always enable design mode, go in very, very quickly, and change content on your screen deterministically. And then you can always exit out of design mode just by clicking the arrow again.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you don't have anything selected and you click it, then you see the design system, right?
Yep, exactly. So when you're when you kind of have nothing selected, that's when you're in like design system mode. And then when you go in and click on a particular element, you go back to normal design mode, which lets you change individual elements on the screen.
I'm curious what we're joining the revolution for, Ari.
I don't know. I think we are joining the revolution to start doing prototyping in V0 all the time.
Heck yeah. There we go. I'm on board.
But I think it saw red, white, and blue Brutalist, and it was like America.
Yeah. That tracks. Cool. Is there anything else we want to show, or can we dig into some questions from the chat?
We 100% can take some questions.
Awesome. Cool. It looks like our first question is this connected to your team? Even better, can we create public design systems?
So it is connected to your team. As you saw live in the demo, Pablo created the design system on our Vercel team, and anyone on the team, including me, was able to use it in our generations. So design systems are connected to your team. Anyone on your team can use them. And soon we're going to ship the ability for you to have a default design system set for your team. So if you're working on a team or a company that already has a very well set design system, you can actually set that as a default. So all the generations on your team will use that design system by default. You cannot create public design systems just yet, but we're working on this as we speak. So hopefully soon in the community page, you'll actually have a section for design systems to publish design systems, modify them, and be able to use them. And we're actually waiting on that until we can support slightly more complex design systems, which will make it much cooler and much more useful for you to use.
Amazing. Our other question here is, does the design system have any features for accessibility and checking with color contrast in the palette?
That's a super good question. It does not by default today. It will very, very soon, probably before the week is out. And so what this will look like is if you set for example, if you set a primary color and a primary foreground that do not have adequate contrast, when you set them, we'll actually give you a little like notification under your input, which will say, hey, this doesn't meet the 1 to 3.1 accessibility ratios that are recommended for colors that overlap. You should consider changing them. And so this will help you hopefully set up design systems that abide by WCAG accessibility standards.
Got it. And then I think one other question that we had was, is this going to be available in the V0 SDK?
Yes, it is currently going to be experimental via the platform API and the V0 SDK. But what you'll basically be able to do is over time, when you create chat or via the SDK, or you call the post endpoint to create a chat directly via the API, you'll be able to pass a design system ID. And this will actually do the same thing as setting a design system in the UI for your generation, which is that it'll use this design system when you generate. So it's not available today. It'll be available experimentally basically by the end of the day today, and we'll hopefully GA it very soon.
Gotcha. Okay, another question. Can you import existing design systems?
Not yet. We're going to basically make that process much, much easier over the course of today and tomorrow. We have a few ideas for how we're going to make it really easy for you to scaffold a design system. One is allowing you to do it via prompt. So you'll be able to go to that editor that Pablo is showing you and just prompt and say, hey, can we make this super bubblegum instead of just bubblegum? We'll also let you upload a ShadCN registry, which can include design tokens and things like that, and be able to scaffold a design system from there. And the final thing we'll probably support is uploading a globals.css. So if you have design tokens already defined in a CSS file, we'll allow you to upload those and pull from there. So we want to make it much, much easier for you to scaffold these in V0.
Got it. I think that's most of our questions for now. Let me do a double check. Yeah, looks like that's it. Ari, Pubs, are there any final reflections or thoughts, or maybe we can hint a little as to what's coming up next with design systems?
Yeah, so I know what everybody in the community is going to ask as soon as this live stream's over, which is, are we able to bring our custom components into V0? And the answer is not yet, but soon. So this is the first, we're calling this first ship for design system styles, because it's really focused on just styling your application, getting the design tokens you want into your app, having V0 understand them and use them correctly. The next step we want to really focus on is doing the same thing for components. And the way we'll likely support this is via the ShadCN registry schema. So if you're interested in having your components be used in V0, you can actually start setting up your registry today. Go to ui.shadcn.com. There's good documentation on how to set up a ShadCN registry. And that'll probably be something that's coming up relatively soon that we're very excited for.
Amazing. I love it. Okay. Well, asks for the audience, please test out styles. It should be live now if you go to V0, and let us know what you think. Give us your feedback. And yeah, we're excited to see what you guys are building and see the new updated design systems you create.
Yeah. And please, if you have a really cool one, you come up with cool generations using design systems, please post it on Twitter, tag us. And Ali, Pablo, and I will be looking for really, really cool generations. And we'll be giving out free credits to those who send them. So please show us your best generations.
Love it. Okay.
Wow. Love it. Love it. Love it. All of this stuff, it just like blows my mind. As a designer, like this has been always the thing that working with vibe coding, that is always like, but I want this specific color. So I will have to add it on the chat. But even if I add it there, it will sometimes will not, like the robot will be like, I'm going to do my own thing. And this one just guarantees that you have control over these kinds of things that as a designer are really important to you, So this is a good mix of, like you were saying, the deterministic control that you need, and also the other stuff where you can keep exploring on crazy things that the app should do or your application, whatever, while you're maintaining and you're keeping your colors in line, which is very important. So this is just the starting point. Like all the ideas, all the things that we want to do it's just going to unlock a lot of stuff for designers.
Yeah. And we're super excited that we basically, with design systems, you can set one set of colors that are used across your app and across apps. Like normally what'll happen is, like, if you prompt V0 to say, like, hey, can you make this button blue? It'll just make that one button blue. The next time you have a button, you'll have to ask V0 again to make that button blue. And so this is a really good way for you to pick defaults in advance and have them apply all the way across your application. And that way you also don't have to spend credits or work back and forth with V0 to get your styling exactly correct.
Yeah. And at any moment you can come back and it's like, oh, you know what? No blue anymore. Let's go pink now. And really easily you can just preview it and then commit if you want to. But also you can just preview the whole thing really easily by just changing. We saw it just like with a slider, right? So I don't know. It's really exciting, and not just for designers, for anyone who is just like playing around, who might not be designers too, but they have a very specific idea of what they want. Now they have that control.
Yeah, that's me. I've already been obsessed with it. I love it. I mean, clearly we're all super excited. So I hope everybody watching is just as excited, if not more, than we are.
Amazing.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks everybody. We'll see you again soon on live, but go test it out and let us know what you think.
See you guys later.